I quit.
No, man, just grow your hair out.
That's right. That's right. Well, no, and you know you're in trouble when the guy who comes over has his own signature pedal. You're just like, uh-oh, we're in real troubled waters.
Hey, man, you got one of them? You got a signature pedal? I got one.
Exactly. Well, you must not be very good then. What am I doing here? All right, so this is the one, the only, the amazing Shawn Tubbs. If you guys don't know, by all means, please check him out because he's just, well, as you just saw, freaking terrifying, as usual.
Come on, man.
No, seriously, for real.
Yeah, you're very kind.
Dude, like, where do we begin? Okay, so chord progression.
Yeah.
Do you think scales or are you ear guy?
Ear. And okay. I know a little bit, just enough for people to realize I don't know anything about scales.
Okay.
And just enough about scales for people to figure out that I don't know any scales.
Yeah, like pentatonic and a little bit more?
Yeah, maybe, yeah. But yeah, I've always been kind of an ear guy. So even that progression, which is straight ahead progression, so there's ways to revoice that.
Whoa, wait, but break that down slow. Those are pretty.
Well, and I mean, that's all just simple, nothing simple. But it's like voice leading for me instead of...
What, explain if people don't know what voice leading is, like what would you consider?
Well, like in this would be a voice leading.
Okay.
So the voice leading was...
Yeah.
So that's the thing. There's other ways to, bring out that progression. So you could put the minor third at the top. So if we start there, or it would be the same.
Yeah.
It's darker here.
Yeah.
And then instead of doing this, well, I'd rather hear that note. So I'll put that on top, which is the third of the chord.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I might want the third again on top, and then the third again on top. So instead of having the roots, you're doing more.
Yeah.
So it's just voicing, but that kind of leads into how when I solo over something, that's how I'm thinking.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well,
what got you into that? Like,
where's the melody? I don't know. To be honest with you, I think it was just from listening more than being technical.
Yeah.
And just realizing that that's what, especially piano players are really good at that. And instead of trying to figure out if there was a scale attached to it, one thing I do know a little bit is just intervals.
Okay.
So when I realized, interval, third interval, instead of like in the, for B, if it's B minor, I already know that, it's here, the minor third, and I would just know, okay, I know what that is. Now, it doesn't matter where, if it's D minor, then I know it's like fifth, minor third, root,
Okay. So do you play out of kind of chord knowledge almost, or?
Yeah, I would say I play around the chords. I do think intervallically. I see shapes.
Okay.
In a weird way. So over this chord, if I know that there's a sixth interval here, but I also know that interval is also a sixth that's not necessarily attached with the actual minor, but it is attached to the dominant seven or the flat seven of minor seven chord. Okay. So if I see that, now I know that works anywhere.
Yeah.
So if it was over A minor, that's an interval, even if it's over this chord. I see this and this, and then I'll take those intervals and start messing around with it. So in the key of like, I shouldn't say B minor, I should say the relative major, which is D.
Okay.
Yeah. Am I going too fast? Is that?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm with you.
Yeah, because relative major would be
I was
D.
like, wait a second, hold on a second. Yes, you're right.
But over a minor chord, the way I play outside sometimes, or what would be considered outside, is I see this interval. So for me, it's like, well, what if I just move it down a half step?
Right.
So now we've got this over this.
Okay, so wait, over B minor chord?
Yeah, so that sounds really, really...
spooky.
Yeah, but if I were to go...
Do that again, that was cool. Where are you gonna hear phrasing like that? Because it's so cool, but like I think you have to get used to knowing that that's possible.
Yeah, that's a really good point because I had a friend, a guy named Andy Morrison, really great guitar player that I jammed with a lot back in the day. And he used to always say that. He's like, you're just not used to hearing outside.
Yeah.
Once you get used to it, then you'll be able to do it. And I think he's right.
Who's like some palatable outside players to get into? Like, because some people it's just too much to hear that.
It's outside. It's just outside. I mean, I guess you could do like listen to the way Robin Ford.
Yeah.
That's very like when he does go a little bit outside. It's kind of bebop outside, and that's pretty hearable. But
seems like horn guys too, or they have a way of just making anything sound cool.
Oh, I know. Yeah, there's so much better at it. But yeah, and there's certain things like John Schofield.
Yeah.
I mean, he's crazy, but there's certain things you can catch from him where he gets in and out. Oz Noy. Now the thing with Oz Noy is Oz will go outside and he'll stay there.
Yeah.
And it's like, good Lord. But the same thing, Oz can bring it back in.
Yep.
Scotty Henderson, especially when he's doing more of his blues thing. Yeah, Scotty would be a good listen.
Yeah. What's your favorite Scott Henderson stuff?
Tribal tech stuff, believe it or not. But all the blues stuff, is great too. But it was tribal tech.
Yeah.
I first was like, who's this guy?
So good.
Yeah. And then, all the blues stuff is killer. But I guess for me, I can't just stay outside. It's just, it doesn't work for me. And I honestly, I don't think I can hear that well enough to do it.
Yeah.
When I catch Oz doing it, he'll stay outside through a hole, and it's just like, oh, how did he do that?
Yeah.
For me, it's like I'd have to come home. So even with this, I'm still trying to get back to.
Okay, so if I were
ahead,
to play that chord progression just slowly, like, can you like piecemeal into like getting out and in?
Yeah, well, within that chord progression, where I can go outside is that flat 7 chord, or the, in this case, it's the 5 chord. We're getting a little theory here, but that's where I can go
way more than you're talking about.
Well, I know intervals. That's the thing. Right. It's like I had to learn the number system when I came here. So
yeah, that's right.
But there's places, like if you play really slow, like, or you don't have to play it slow, but So go outside there, stay inside here, and then here.
What was it?
That would have had to resolve. I mean, landed here, but that was the same thing. But really what I was shooting for was you to come back here. Yeah. Yeah. So here, I can, outside.
Yeah.
I kind of missed it, but yeah. But that
was amazing.
That actually is a scale, but that's the thing. It's like I don't try to tell people to do that because I can't play a melodic minor scale all over the neck.
Yeah.
But that's where I got, that's a melodic minor scale, but I suck at it.
Yeah.
So what I tried to steal was the tonalities within that.
Sure.
And once again, it still fell within the parameters of this stuff.
So if I were to stick on, what's the easiest chord in that progression to kind of step out on?
You could do it over just the minor chord. Yeah.
So like what would be like baby step your way into playing outside? Is it basically like coming in from a half step down? Or?
Think chromatically then.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is so easy.
Do that again. That was cool. Break down like, okay, so if you're sticking to this shape.
Yeah.
How are you stepping out? Like,
yeah, it's basically, I've heard Brecker do it, Michael Brecker.
Okay.
Probably shorter. Wayne's done it. Yeah, it's just a trick that is so simple. Like if you wanted to play outside just to tweak everybody's ear over that chord, start on the 5th, is right there. We all know what that is. same shape.
So you just move the pattern up.
Yeah, you could start on the 7th if it was, you know, flat 7. That's kind of my favorite one.
Like the little bar dive too.
Yeah, and then you figure out your own ways to make it, you know, cool sounding, but that's a really simple way to, because even if you didn't do the whole thing and then just came back, that's super easy.
Even your inside playing sounds awesome. Okay,
But, and you could start it on the root too.
Okay.
I mean, you could almost do that whole thing right there.
Wait, so let me just play that chord and show them the different starting points.
Yeah, so we could start from the root.
Okay.
Could start from the dominant 7.
Yeah.
Start from the 6th. So we end on the flat 5. And same thing.
Nice.
But that's just, it's like, that's really straight, like straight ahead easy, you know? And I use that all the time. That's like my go-to. I got nothing, so I'll try this.
Oh, that's amazing.
But even that, like, you know, that's technically wrong. But it sure sounds cool.
Sure does sound cool.
Yeah.
So what's that?
That over B minor is flat 5, dominant 7.
So where is it?
So think of this shape, which would be augmented, F sharp augmented, just down a half step.
Oh, so you take it down a half step.
That's all that is. Yeah, so that's why you always hear me doing that kind of stuff. That's all.
Back up.
That's all based on.
Do that again.
That's all based on that. You know, is me going, okay, instead of just going, it's like, well, what if I chromatically, but I'm still spelling that out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're taking an outside shape and moving basically back in.
Yeah, because I mean, that would be a straight ahead, like augmented 5 chord.
Okay.
I just moved it down a half step. I just thought that sounded cool.
You know what's interesting is Bukovac was just over, and he talked about this, saying that the trick to playing chord progressions that might seem strange is you have to have one common tone within the chord. Like, so when you back that down one, you still have kind of that an original chord tone in there.
Yeah, there's something there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that pulls the ear back into.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, because that's that type of stuff is when
you know all the good chords.
Well, but when when you're trying to keep a common tone.
Yeah.
You know, if you wanted to go from here, which is just D to G, you could. And then if you wanted to keep that common tone, you would just.
Yeah, and then back to it.
And then right back to it. You know? So there's a lot of that to it, you know. And
that just sounds cool, though.
Yeah, I mean, that would be a little bit tougher. Probably that kind of thing. Oops.
Let me play the progression, and you do Shawn. Here we go. 2, 3, 4. That was freaking awesome. Wait, go. What was that?
It's really not. Chromaticism again.
Okay, so where's the main? Where's home base?
So I'm still thinking here. Okay. So if you think of a minor scale, and I guess that would be considered natural minor.
You're asking the wrong guy.
Okay. But a minor, like
Yep.
That's minor.
Yep.
So that's really what I'm thinking. But instead of going, I'm thinking chromatically. So it's really just that minor scale. But for me,
yeah.
And and
It's
then
being
come
able
back.
to keep that rhythm in that, that knowing where you're going to attack the note.
Yeah, and
It's like a confidence in
sometimes it
doing
doesn't work. Like I just did the. That doesn't really sound all that great, but if I get out of it, because we're not doing a sixth tonality, we're not doing this.
Yeah. Which would be cool too.
It sounds cool, but we're doing this. But it still works. You know what I did. You know, you're kind of back to the blues.
Yeah.
And that's another cool trick too, is just to don't ignore the sixth intervals.
Okay. So
You know, instead of
give me
going,
an example.
that's
Yeah.
what most guys do. But for me, I like to do the sixth interval. I don't know. I just think that sounds cool.
Oh, it
I mean,
sounds
I don't
amazing.
always do that, but as opposed to, which is cool, but
Yeah.
there's something about, and anything that becomes an interval, I will slide into it. So if I know that's like a sixth
Yeah.
interval, you know, my inclination is, right? You know? And once again, that's simple. You know, that's old chromaticism tricks.
Dude. Okay.
It's all malarkey.
I got to keep doing this. All right. Ready, two. Here we go. 2, 3. Finally, speed up.
Okay.
I can't even play. Holy crap. Oh, I'm sorry for that. I just like got so sucked in. I was just like, wait, no, pause, hold on. What just happened there?
I don't even know what that is. I
amazing.
did that on I did that type of movement on Travis Toy's record.
Okay.
I forget which song, but it's a weird I don't know what that is.
I don't either, but it's amazing.
Fun. It's kind of
What chord is that over? Or were you just
you could do that over I would be more apt to do that over E minor. So if you just hold out an E minor.
Yeah.
But it would work over A.
What is it? Like can you break it down slow, or is that one of those things you just play fast?
I just play fast. A lot of intervals. That's a straight.
Okay, dude, how does that even enter into your world?
I don't know.
Because it sounds, well, I guess
Like
my point is that it sounds so natural. Like once you see somebody that like yourself that can do it that way, kind of effortlessly, it sounds like, oh yeah, that's an option. But like, I think for a lot of people, it's just gonna be like, wait a second, like where do you begin to get down that road?
I think I guess it's still intervals.
But is there a pattern to the intervals?
Not really. Because I was trying to get the 6, right?
Uh-huh.
Flat 5, at least in that key.
Yeah.
And that's the major 7 against, so you're creating this kind of thing. But I also am creating this thing while creating this thing while creating this thing over.
So is that over?
So you can kind of see the shapes. There's a shape. And then that's a 6th. Yeah. And then that's an interval.
Uh-huh.
And then that's straight ahead.
Yeah.
And then that's straight ahead. That's an interval. And then Chromaticism. And then back to the usual. But I don't know, like, I've just always kind of done weird stuff like that.
Yeah.
But and sometimes it lands and sometimes it doesn't. It just happened to land that time.
What a trip.
But yeah, I still see it as intervallic, and I'm sure there's cats out
Yeah.
That are watching this can look at it and go, oh, no, here's what it actually is.
Well, when you...
I don't know what...
If you hear it out of the context of guitar, like if you heard a horn guy do that, you'd be like, it sounds like something that would naturally occur.
Yeah.
Right? Because they just freaking blow through stuff like that. I think that the trick that makes it so cool is how smooth you're able to do it. And that you know where to land. You know what I mean? You know how to get out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like hope when you pull the chute, it actually is like you have a soft landing. Yeah, and I don't always, you know.
Well, you can't always.
No,
right? You have to be willing to fall on your face.
Yeah, yeah, because I mean, and a lot of stuff I will admit, I did this funk thing. I did that as a turnaround on a demo that I did.
Yeah,
and that literally is that's Borelli Legrin.
Yeah.
You know, it's a gypsy jazz player. I mean, he plays all kinds, but he's an insane gypsy jazz player. So there's a lot of the stuff I've stolen from learning
gypsy jazz,
attempting to learn gypsy jazz stuff, and then I'm like, oh, okay, well.
Is there a gateway drug to gypsy jazz, like players?
Django.
Yeah.
Start with Django. God, and then there's all the cats.
Start with the best.
Yeah, exactly.
Go backwards.
Start with the thing that's so cool about gypsy jazz or just extraordinary is Django.
Yeah.
Django started it. There is no other.
Yeah, he's the
like
Genesis.
Django started that,
yeah.
And then a bunch of other guys did it. You know.
Well, and just the part that really just kicks you in the nuts is when you realize he doesn't even have all of his fingers.
Yeah, yeah, from the fire. Yeah,
you're just like, wait a minute.
But it was guys like Borelli Legrin. Really, one that I watched a bunch is Borelli Legrin and Friends.
Okay.
So it's Chavlo Smid and like all the amazing guys all hanging out with Borelli playing.
Oh my gosh.
And that's where I stole a lot of the stuff where I would just slow it down and rip it off. Couldn't figure out what it was. There's certain things like, like if it's over that kind of thing.
Yeah.
All that is it's a shape.
Yeah.
You know, it's right there, just full steps down. I took stuff like that from Borelli.
Yeah.
You know, that's totally not necessarily Borelli, but it's stuff where I heard him do it, and then I made something kind of more my own.
What's a typical chord progression they would play? Like my point is like at some point, how did it go from you learning it to being able to do it in a normal context? Like, are the chord progressions still typical-ish, or is it?
They're pretty typical, especially within gypsy jazz. It's really still Western swing progressions.
Yeah, so it's not outside.
And that's where I get stumped. If it's some crazy progression, that's where I tap out. It's like, okay. I'm really good at playing over simple chords and making those sound outside, but guys that are playing over like, a bunch of 2-5-1s in different keys, and like giant steps and all that stuff. It's like, daddy's tired.
I'll stick to little steps.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I mean, I guess that's where those kind of things came from because I was so into gypsy jazz there for a while. Yeah. And now I don't really play it very much. I mean, I recorded some stuff and...
It sounds like it seeped in.
Yeah, it definitely did. Yeah, it did. Yeah, I mean, the majority of the outside stuff. That's a Django from, from Limehouse Blues? Where he would do like a... I thought that sounds so cool, Yeah. So when I found the shape, I was like, oh... What can I do with that shape? Yeah. Yeah. Because, it's that kind of stuff. So a lot of it does really come from listening to
so that's your secret.
Cats. Yeah, yeah. But the ones that play kind of more outside, like Borelli definitely.
What era?
More outside.
Is it like, how is it?
No, he's like, he's younger than me.
Oh, okay. So it's recent stuff.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, that record is probably from early 2000s.
Oh, okay.
The live one, the Borelli and Friends live. Yeah.
What's the format of the band? Because I know some of the gypsy jazz, some of the coolest stuff I like is like the violin playing stuff. They're phrasing is terrifying.
Oh, it's those guys. Nobody played like Stefan Grappelli. Yeah. Everybody like, Stefan was so good. But it's usually 2 rhythm players, upright bass, and a soloist. Okay. Sometimes just one rhythm player. Yeah. Django Singh usually had 2 rhythm guys behind him.
Yeah.
And then he was taking the
Keep up with
solos.
him.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Guy's freaking terrifying. I remember listening to some of it and I was just like, how's that even and it's almost like totally different worlds, but he reminds me of Eddie in a way that there's like humor to the playing.
Yeah.
Like at some point you just laugh because it's like, how is that even possible?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That he's able to do that. You
Yeah,
know?
but even, even that stuff he does, I still can't do that.
Yeah.
And then the fact that most of that is downstrokes. And
How does that even happen? Like
it was for volume. And it's always a bowed wrist. You're not anchoring anywhere. It's
wait a minute.
not easy.
Wait. Like, is it a lot of rake stuff, or how do you make?
It's rest strokes, which can be directional. Like, you know how to rest stroke, like basically where the pick lands on the, like classical players, a rest stroke would be,
the next
you land on the string.
Okay.
Same thing with gypsy jazz is it's a rest stroke down. Very seldomly is it a rest stroke up, but it's a lot of down strokes. You know, it's hard to do on this guitar, but you know.
Dude, that's
Yeah. And there's guys that I can't do it anymore, but there's guys that will do patterns like that.
Yeah.
Where it's,
How do you do downstrokes that fast?
man, I don't know. You have to do it. I was faster at it, but that is not a horse that you jump off of and expect to get right back on.
Right.
Especially bow-wristed, you know?
Yeah.
And those kind of cats haunt me that can go back and forth between playing like bow-wristed and then flat-wristed.
Yeah.
But even like you look at like John Jorgensen,
Yeah.
a really great gypsy jazz player, but if you watch him play, he stays flat-wristed. He doesn't play like
Yeah.
bow-wristed for the most part. Like a true like gypsy jazz player is super bow-wristed, and there's a reason. It's volume. So if you do this with a pick, it's like that's way different than this. There's weight. It's if you ring out a match this way, it's going to be different than ringing out a match this way.
Yeah.
And then that goes into the whole. You can get into like all the funk stuff, like Corey Wong.
Yeah.
Like
Another
the
slouch.
fulcrum stuff. Yeah, he'll get it. Keep at it there, kid. You'll figure it out.
We were at a gig with Lettieri the other night, and they were using his drummer, and I was just like,
Oh yeah.
the guy was so good. Like, it's just a whole different.
Yeah, complete different ballgame. And
Yeah.
I know we're going off the rails, but like Corey, if you watch him play, it's like he's super open with his right hand.
Yeah.
There's all this just fulcrum, and I think that's what creates the volume and the pocket that he has. But yeah, it's the same thing as playing like bow-wristed as a gypsy jazz player and really employing a lot of downstrokes.
So that's super important.
Yeah.
I would imagine with acoustics too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but even like, it's a lot of downstrokes.
What a trip.
Where most guitar players would go,
Yeah.
but and that's all just weight and rest strokes. It's just way louder without even trying.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you'll pull your groin trying to figure out how to do it. So.
Yeah. Holy moly. All right.
So we went way off the rails.
One more jam, just cause I so appreciate hearing you play guitar.
Oh,
All right.
man.
Same's, I'm going to speed it up a little bit.
Okay.
Holy crapitosis.
Nah, you're too kind. I screwed up a couple things.
Okay, so do me a giant favor. A, immediately subscribe to his channel, but B, comment below like what you want to see him do, because like, I don't know, dude. I've had a lot of players over, and there's just something about the way you play that is, it's terrifying.
Wow. You're very kind, man.
No, come on. No, seriously though, like not very many people can do that. So let him know what you want to see. Go to his channel and be like, dude, I want you to show me to blank. Please.
Cool. I'll take a swing at it. Right. I'll take a swing at her. I can't.
Plus, hold on to your wallet, because he makes anything he ever plays sound really good. So just go through the lens of knowing it's Shawn playing the guitar. Okay, so anyways, I'm going to leave his links in the description box below. I'm going to try to drag him back in here. So just bug him like, go back over. And we'll get this cat back in.
Red Rover.
Yeah, exactly. After watching, I'm like, oh, I have so many more questions, but it'll be 9 hours long. So anyways, thank you guys so much for checking in. Also for supporting the channel. If you guys don't know about supporting the channel, you can go to brettpapa.com. That funds this whole thing. It gets all of these players over here. And it also helps me get players like that in here to do some stuff for you guys. So thank you so much for the continued support. Shawn, thank you so much for coming by.
Absolutely, man. Thanks
We'll catch you next time. Check out his pedal too, right there. It sounds amazing. Wait, give it a good rip. Give it a rang. It's all been through his signature pedal. That's how you know you've arrived in this rev, which is, by the way, is just plugged straight into my Apollo, which these things are freaking great, dude.
Straight into the old TV set.
Straight into the old TV with the bunny ears and everything.
Straight into the old Zenith.
All right, guys. Thanks so much. We'll catch you next time.
See you guys.